Alright, what's good, everybody? Um, I'm just gonna talk about the state of Xbox fans and just what they should do do to sustain in these next months, man. They just gotta move on, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that they should stop being fans. That's not what that means. I'm just saying move on to next gen. All your talking points should be next gen. Because if you're talking about this gen, it's just a losing battle. Sales lost, reviews lost, popularity lost, reputation lost. I'm not saying we didn't have any games or that our games were bad and that PlayStation and Nintendo's killed us. Many can say that, but for the first 3 years, I'll give it to Xbox, and that's half the generation almost. We haven't really had quality games consistently since 2016. 2017, that's when we got bombarded. When PlayStation got bombarded with Japanese handouts like Persona 5, Nier Automata. I think Neo came out that year. So you had multiple 9 plus rated Japanese handout exclusives. Sure, some came to Xbox like the Yakuzas and the Nier Automatas, but the Personas and the Niers are yet to be seen. So they had Japanese people giving them amazing exclusives for free of charge. Sony didn't have to do anything to get that. And they had some good exclusives of their own. Like, I think Horizon Zero Dawn came out that year, a new IP. I wasn't a huge fan of it, so that year I wasn't like too mad. Yeah, that year I wasn't going too crazy, because when I tried it I was kind of disappointed. It's just not my kind of game. And then they had, I think, Gravity Rush 2, and I don't remember what else. But they had a good year. It wasn't crazy if you take out the Japanese handouts, but it was a great year nonetheless. I think GT Sport, I'm not sure. I don't remember. But then 2018 is when they hit us with the back-to-back, bro. Straight up, Aubrey Graham back-to-back, Spider-Man, God of War. Those are two Game of the Generation contenders. Spider-Man is the best superhero game to date. Don't at me, I'm not capping. I played all the Batmans. Spider-Man provided a level of challenge that even Arkham Knight did not produce on hard. I felt Spider-Man on normal was harder than Arkham Knight on hard. At least the combat, like the Batmobile was kind of challenging, I'll give it that. But yeah, that's Spider-Man, one of the best in the genre. God of War, it, it's one of the game. It's definitely a Game of the Year contender and a Game of the Generation contender. Like they got the brutality of the original God of War and mixed it with kind of like an exploration similar to that of Tomb Raider and even Zelda, as far as like the puzzle solving and just how the levels were designed. It really brought me back to Zelda, which is one of the premier franchises. So you gotta give them that, man. I'm not saying, and Xbox didn't have a horrible year. I think State of Decay 2 and Crackdown 3, those games aren't the best games, but they're fun games, and they do what they do well. I think Sea of Thieves as well. Like, all these games got better with time. Sea of Thieves specifically. So I'm not saying you're not having fun. I'm just saying that you're not gonna win an objective argument talking about current gen. You're really just not. And they just had another back-to-back with Last of Us and what do you call this thing? Ghost of Tsushima. I'm not gonna sit here and say that Ghost of Tsushima is mind-blowing. I haven't played it, but from what I've seen, it's not mind-blowing. It's just a great version of a game that we've already played before. Maybe even a better version. Because everybody loves samurais. I'm about to lose right here. Everybody loves samurais. And let's be real, Assassin's Creed games are really cool, and you can tell they're really influenced by this. So yes, you will be doing the same thing: stealth attack, hiding, invading a camp, capturing outposts. Like, it's standard open world hack and slash fare. I'm not blown away, but visually, stylistically, the game looks dope. And guess what? It's a new IP. Sure, is it the newest game ever? No, but it's still a new IP. And Xbox, they had a lot of new IPs in the beginning, but guess what? Rise Son of Rome, they don't own it, and did not get a sequel. Sunset Overdrive, PlayStation owns it, and we have not gotten a sequel. Titanfall, EA owns it. The sequel is multi-plat. What else? What else? What else? See? Sea of Thieves. Yeah, that's a new IP. Recore, where's the sequel? At least we own that though, so wow. Dude, if we get a Recore 2 with an actual like big AAA budget, man, that's a game of the year contender. I'll probably get shot for that. But yeah. So the point of this is basically Sony has been they've been knocking us out, bro. They've been killing us since 2017. And yeah, the first year or two you could deal with it because you could be like, next year is when we're gonna see it. But when we didn't that E3, I left pretty disappointed. I didn't switch over or anything. I still played on Xbox X. I personally just stopped playing games in general, just to focus more on school. I was about to graduate and whatnot. So I really stopped caring, and I didn't really miss out on much. I came back for Gears 5, phenomenal game, one of the best in the series. That's really how you push forward a franchise. Had a good story. The gameplay was as good as ever, and it made a lot of improvements to the campaign. I'll be lying if I said I touched the multiplayer. So, but I hear it's great. And they have that escape mode. Like, it's a game that's still growing. They added some new stuff with Dom. So yeah, that's a game that is constantly growing. And it's unfortunate that we haven't really had many games of that caliber and with that level of care since 2016. Because think about it, they gave Sony Bend a mobile studio that they made PSP games and I think indie games. They gave them a AAA budget to make a new freaking IP. They paid Kojima AAA budgets to make a freaking walking mountain climbing simulator. He made a AAA indie game. They gave him a AAA budget to make an indie type game. And guess what? It sold pretty well. It wasn't a great seller, but like compared to Xbox exclusives, it's pretty damn good. So I want to see Microsoft hand AAA budgets to developers who could do crazy things like that. We got that Project Mara coming up, which looks incredible graphically, and supposedly it's going to take place in one room, and it's going to be a mental health type of commentary game. That really wants me to have a Silent Hill 4 remake of The Room. Although that game wasn't all in The Room, if it's like that, I would not mind, bro. But I'm interested in that. And they got a whole lot more studios to pour money into. So hopefully this year, I mean tomorrow, we will find out if that is true or not, because we've given them chances and they haven't shown us anything, partly because they've been bit in the ass by cancellations and just bad luck, like losing the technology for the cloud, because CloudGen got sold off to some, I think Amazon, I forgot to who. And yeah, Microsoft basically had to pretty much drop the cloud aspect of Crackdown and downgrade the hell out of it. But yeah, we really had to focus on next gen, because that's hopefully where the games are. That's definitely where the power is. Looks like that's gonna be the home for free online, supposedly. If the rumor seems true, it does kind of make total sense. And I would not mind, because they give free party chat on the phone, free party chat on the PC. Like, what's the point of having that on the console? And I guess they're making just that much money on Game Pass that's what they're trying to do, or they're willing to really take the loss and give themselves a competitive advantage over PlayStation. Because if you think about it, well, I don't know if you think about it, it's if you know, like people like I did who had the PS3 simply because it was free online. Like, that was a reason why a lot of people played Call of Duty there, because they didn't have to pay $60 to play the top game for free. You know, that was a big advantage. And yeah, that's basically all I was trying to say. Focus on next gen. If you focus on this gen, it's a losing battle. And You know what? I can actually give some predictions. The Well, not actually predictions, more like wants, cause I can't really predict. I don't feel comfortable doing that and taking the L. I'd rather not. But we're definitely gonna see Halo Infinite, which you didn't need Phil Spencer to know that we're getting another Halo. And but it looks like this time they're not really chasing trends. It looks like they're going open world, and they added a grappling hook. It's funny I say they added a grappling hook after I said they weren't gonna chase trends, but I think of it more as a hook shot from Zelda than as I do for Titanfall. I think it's mostly gonna be for open world, because we've heard from the beginning that it was open world. You look at the first trailer, dead ass open world signs like wildlife, driving a warthog in a big wide field. Sure, Halo has had big maps, but they've all been pretty focused. There's usually like a centerpiece in that big area. It's never like a plain field like that. I don't know, it just looked too open world, like not in the same type. And it looked like they had something like an outpost that looks like you have to basically capture a Ubisoft trope right there, but that is an open world trope nonetheless. So the grappling hook makes total sense. I've heard that it's gonna be like Metroid style exploration stuff, dependent on certain upgrades and weapons that allow you access to different areas of the map. That is right up my alley. I'm a huge fan of stuff like Metroid, Metal Gear, which is similar, Resident Evil, which is similar, Control, excellent freaking games. I'm really happy to hear that. It makes total sense. Metroid Prime style game with actual good shooting mechanics would be great, because like Metroid, sure, it's a first person shooter technically, but it's basically a lock-on shooter, and you strafe with the same you strafe with the triggers, I think, and you look with the left analog stick, so it's not really a twin stick shooter. Halo is that, so that's a good thing. It's pretty much all but confirmed that Fable is coming back, and I think that this time, with the power of like current hardware, who knows, maybe even the SSD, that we will actually see the things that Peter Molyneux was promising back in 2002, or whenever he first revealed the game, and in the rest of the games. Every decision that you make in this game will change the world, and each person's world will be different. That is my prediction, because that has really always been one thing that Fable is about, and that it's stressed the choice between good and evil, and what it does to society and your game world. And sure, they did it, but it was a lot less nuanced as they made it out to be. And I think this time will not be the case. I expect it to actually be open world, because I haven't really played 1, actually, believe it or not, but 2 and 3, it's multiple hubs. It's not really damn, I fucked up. It's not really an open world. So I picture a big world. I really do not know where to, like, I do not know what game it would be similar to. Hopefully not Assassin's Creed, because we have enough of that already. But probably like a baby Witcher, and I say baby in terms of content. This is not gonna be a 1,000 side quest game. I fucked that up too. It's not gonna be a 1,000-hour game. It's gonna be long though. And obviously the choice to pick between genders, get married, catch STDs, all that good stuff, all of that will definitely be there. What else? And I think it could have co-op as well. And supposedly it's Playground Games. I really wonder if that's the case. They know how to make a pretty open world game, so it makes total sense. Graphically, I don't think it'll be 100% realistic. I think it'll be something like Fable Legends, which looks kind of like a straight up Pixar movie, like Ratchet and Clank. Look like a straight up DreamWorks type movie with ray tracing, because that is what separates CG movies from games, at least for the longest. So we'll definitely see that. I'm not sure about Perfect Dark because people say it's the initiative doing it, and they're supposedly not showing up. I personally hope that Initiative is a new IP, and I hope that Perfect Dark is being handled by someone else, maybe Rare's B team. Because here's a quick little history on Rare. They used to kind of have like two teams on the 64. One that did the Golden Eye and the Perfect Dark. They left and became I don't remember the name of the studio, but they went off to make the Time Splitter series before Microsoft bought them. I think they left like right after Perfect Dark came out. So when Microsoft bought them, they didn't really have that B team, but they did. Well, I guess key members, because I guess they kind of did, because they dropped Cameo and Perfect Dark same year on the 360. So maybe they do have two teams. Not sure. But since they're working on Neverwild, and I'm sure they have to put resources into the growing Sea of Thieves, I don't know if they have another team to do that. But I do kind of hope it's not the Initiative. Speaking of Rare, Everwild gameplay, we're gonna see it. Probably 4-player co-op. Not sure if it's gonna be a Sea of Thieves type of thing, just in the wilderness. I don't know. But I think it will be unlike anything we've ever seen before. It's gonna be something completely new. You're either gonna love it or hate it, like Sea of Thieves. And another Rare thing that I personally want, it's not a prediction, it's more of a want. I want to see a Banjo 1 and 2 collection similar to the Spyro and to the Crash. Since we're kind of remaking PS1 and 64 games like Resident Evil 2, the Spyro, the Crash, the Tony Hawk series, I think it's only right to get Banjo. Because although my favorite one in the series is Part 3, I feel it was the most original, and the first two were really just, let's be real, a poor man's Mario 64. They're still great games nonetheless, and it's one of the big IPs that Microsoft has and they're not really using. And fans have been asking for a new Banjo. I feel like this will be a good way to see if the demand is truly there, because fans love to talk, but when it's time to buy, they're not always there. Let's see if this could convert some Nintendo gamers to the console and get this as their AAA machine. And either that or a straight up Banjo 3, that's my prediction. And there's rumors of a Japanese game coming. Bold prediction. Kojima. Yo, it's not really a prediction, that's just a wish list. But I feel like Death Stranding was not as successful as it was intending to be, I assume. Critic-wise, sales-wise, I don't think it was a huge success. And I don't know if Sony was ready to give him another game, and I don't know, I just don't really picture him with an EA or an Activision. So I see him doing something similar, something like specific for the Xbox, like his take on a certain genre. I don't know, I expect that. And just a one game type deal too. I feel like Kojima's just gonna be doing one game type deals. It's either this or he's doing Silent Hills with Sony, and if Akira Yamaoka is back, that is going to be an amazing game. But that guy's with the medium, and I do think we're gonna see medium gameplay, and I think they're gonna announce that they bought the team. But now that I think about it, they said no business, so I don't know. That might be in the August show. What else is a prediction? Either that or Ninja Gaiden, or the fact that they bought a studio. There's also rumors that there's a Dead Rising. Maybe they bought that IP. I don't know. I really don't know. See, that's why I really don't like predictions, because you never really know. And then you get your hopes up, and then it won't be worth it. So those are just my dream. That's my dream of this show. And obviously we're gonna see Psychonauts 2, their last multi-plat game, maybe a tease of their next game, and we're gonna see Obsidian's new game. I think it might be an in-engine trailer. Or actually not, cause apparently Xbox saw that, and then that's what made them want to buy it. So maybe that game is further along in development than we think. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't want to go on for too long. Xbox had a good run the first few years. The last 3 years have been pretty bad. We've been getting whooped. But I think we're onto a bright future. We got a good start soon. We're gonna get a good start. I think we're gonna get some good games. And yeah, I expect every game here to be 60 frames a second, or to at least have a mode for 60 frames a second. Halo Infinite, uh, I don't know if it's even going to be 1080p on the original, maybe 1080p 30 or 900p 30 on the original, 4K 60, 1X, 4K 120, Series X. That's my prediction. We'll see. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, have a good one, and I look forward to tomorrow's